My name is Stephanie Dollins, and I'm a patient advisor here at ImageLift. I'm also a patient, and I'm happy to share my personal experience. I've worked in aesthetics for many years, and I'm so proud to be part of the ImageLift team. We're all so excited to have you here today and help you find what you're looking for. Dr. Rich is a double board certified facial plastic surgeon. He's performed well over 10,000 cosmetic procedures of the face and neck. He's also the Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book you were given today. Dr. Rich lectures all around the country and takes a lot of media requests. We'll show you some of that video footage in just a moment. But now if you'll take a second to silence your phones, we'll get started. And now for those highlights.
Castellano is wearing something new.
Dr. Rich Castellano money. Dr. Richard Castellano says laser lipolysis gets his vote.
Dr. Richard Castellano.
Dr. Rich Castellano, the board-certified facial plastic surgeon, is one of the first in the country to use Google Glasses while he's working on patients.
Dr. Rich Castellano says that's one main reason behind this new trend. Less expensive, less invasive, cosmetic face procedure. So she turned to Dr. Richard Castellano for an image lift.
Seductive as well, and I just feel like knowing about it.
Dr. Castellano says he's seen a spike in patients like Elizabeth who feel they are being discriminated against because of their looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Dr. Rich Castellano.
Thank you very much. Please a big hand for our amazing team, Stephanie and everyone who told today. It's not easy team events together. We're really excited that you're here. We're celebrating St. Patrick's all month long, so we like to have a little bit of fun, and we are really excited to share with you what we get to do every day. And what a year it has been this past year, oh my goodness. But you know what? We made it to today. We made it this far, so we might as well keep on going, okay? So let's give a big hand to making it this far, right? We're a little scared that things are looking really good. A lot of people getting vaccinated. I got my vaccination. I still wear this thing. It's a HEPA filter. Filters the air, maximum safety. We always exceed the CDC guidelines. So why are we here today? What brings us here? It is amazing. People are living so much longer. Medical care, thank goodness for modern medicine. People are active. And as we get older and enjoy our families and enjoy our lives, things start to change. Our appearance changes. And do people treat us a little differently based on our appearance? In our family, in our friends, in our workplace, based on how young or how old they think we are? Who's the most important person that treats us differently based on our appearance? Ourselves. We get up in the morning, we look in the mirror, and if we like what I can see, it just gives you that little boost, right? When I got up this morning, I put on this suit. My wife and kids are so embarrassed, by the way. They won't be seen around me. But it makes me feel good because we're going to have fun today, right? Listen me up. But if we look into the mirror and we go, oh, that's a vocabulary word, by the way. Oh. You know what I mean when I say that, right? We all know the feeling. Oh. But it's our appearance that makes us feel a certain way, and we project to others. So very simply, we are here to help you get the most out of your appearance. How to look your best, how to look natural, how to do things the right way. Okay? Has anyone here ever gone onto Google and searched up, how do I improve my neck and face wrinkles? Has anybody ever done that on Google and search? You get more confused after you find all these things. People say different things. We're going to give you the information. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the ABCs of plastic surgery. When you know the ABCs, you will make your best decisions because you understand the big picture. Would that be helpful? Okay? Every one of you, we're going to give you a customized plan before you leave. So when I'm done talking, you'll have a good idea of what's right for you. And even though there's a lot of people here, my team will feature the tables in the back, and I'll sit with you and we'll finalize a plan because everyone's a little bit different based on your goals, what is the right thing for you. And is anyone here interested in how much these things cost? We're going to go through that as well. So I'm curious, how many people have seen our videos out on Facebook or YouTube? Seen a couple of our videos? How many of you here are on Facebook? How many are on Facebook? If you're on Facebook, watch our videos. Just follow us on Facebook. We're on there now. I like to do my live broadcast. We have doctors and students and patients from literally all over the world watching our live feed. If you watch our videos, you feel like you're in our office. Just looking over my shoulder. I was doing a treatment today for my patients, and some of my patients will tell me, I've been watching you for years. They start to tell me what I'm going to say to them. I know what you like to say. Everything's looking good, right? They're which I'm honored, because we do this for education. We're here to raise your standards. We are on a mission to stop bad plastic surgery. So, if that's what you're interested in, you've come to the right place. Now, people ask me, they say, Dr. Rich, why did you get involved in this? How did you get involved in making people look younger? It started with me when I was 7 years old. I spent 2.5 years of my life. I was in a wheelchair and on crutches because I had a hip condition. When I was 11, my mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia. It was very tumultuous. My parents got a divorce, and I struggled with depression through high school and college. And one thing that I found, no matter how low I may have been feeling that, is if I spent time around people that looked like they were having a good time, they were laughing and smiling, it made me feel better. It would lift me up. It made a difference in my life. And from that low time in my life where I was able to find something that made me feel good, it made a difference for me, I decided I wanted to do this for other people. So my father was a dentist, my cousin was a neurologist, and I went to medical school. And as I decided I wanted to do surgery, what do I want to do surgery of? I love doing surgery of the head and neck. I thought that was so fascinating. And when I realized that you can change someone's appearance, but when you change someone how they look, it changes how we feel. And that was so powerful for me. I just said, that's what I want to do. So here we are today. And now I've done over 4,000 facelifts under local anesthesia. Now most doctors will retire after about 500 or 1,000 facelifts, right? So we are a center of excellence. And I've done over 20,000 syringes of filler injection. A lot of people out there are injecting. Most of them, they're beginners or intermediate. So you gotta be careful. But the good news is you've come to the right place. We will help you. You'll make the right decisions, and we're going to show you how you get your best results. All right. So we're going to look at some before and after pictures here. I'm going to go through a few more things. So that's me when I was on crutches. That was when I was 7 years old. And that's my mom and my dad, and those are my smile buddies. They keep me smiling, keep me going. Never a dull moment in our house. So we wear these helmets for protection, especially during procedures when patients take their mask off. This way we have protection. So you'll see us wear these full face masks, all the PPE for your protection and for my team's protection. So we've been through lockdown. This too shall pass. We're just getting ready to cross the finish line. I'm so proud of my team. I feel so much love in the office every day. They take great care of me. They're going to take great care of you as well, whether it's face-to-face. And now we also, there's my team, we also do Zoom. So some of my patients, if they want to do video, they want to social distance, we have both options. So I give my cell phone to all my patients. I don't get that many phone calls. Patients just feel comfortable that if they need to reach me, they can reach out and give us a call. So you can reach us many different ways. So we're going to be safe, we're going to be smart, we're going to do this the right way. So I told you about my why I'm here, but what's really important is, why are you here? Something prompted you to pick up the phone, call, or email us or you got dragged here by somebody else. For whatever reason you're here, your why will get you through. Because sometimes when we do these things, if it gets a little confusing or overwhelming, sometimes we just get stuck. And I've talked with so many patients that have done a treatment and they would tell me, I don't know why I waited so long to do this. We're going to help you get unstuck. Whatever you're here for, whatever your reason, whatever you need, we're going to help you find the quickest pathway to get that. That's why we're here. So your why gets us there. So whether it is somebody who's raised their family, ready to invest in themselves, or sometimes a patient may get through a difficult medical illness, or they just want to do something for themselves. So let me ask you, how many of you here have raised a family? Who gets put first in family? Everyone else, the dog, the bird, and who gets put last? That's one of the things that is so special about what we get to do, is we get to put you first. If you've raised a family, you are a giver. You cannot raise a family unless you're a giver. And we love to give to the giver because we can't pour from an empty cup. We're not going to stop giving. If you do it your whole life, you're a giver. You're just going to keep giving. But there's even more to give. And you give to the giver as well. That's why I love doing what we do, and we get to have so much fun every day in the office. So your reason why, whatever your reason why is, will help get you to where you want to be. So we'll talk about that. Now, okay, this is what I call my ABCs of plastic surgery. I recommend you write this down because it's very important. And when you know this, you will make your best decisions. So A stands for area. There are 4 areas that we address to improve the facial appearance. Number 1, if we sag, we tighten. Simple, right? Makes sense. It's not complicated. Number 2, we lose volume, we fill. And as we age, we do lose the volume, we lose skin muscle fat, we lose bone, we get a little bit shorter. As we lose that volume, we fill. That's number 2. Number 3, sun damage, wrinkles, and sunspots to the skin, we can polish and repair the skin and build the collagen. Okay? Number 4 is better than all the others, and that is our behavior. There is no treatment that we offer that looks better than Mother Nature's free facelift, our smile. I cannot do better than the smile. The smile's always the best, and the smile is our model of what looks good. Because when you smile, it plumps our cheeks. So look in the mirror and say, that's what we're going after. The smile, the plump, it softens on top and bottom. Are you with me so far? Now, you know how when you do something nice for someone else, it just makes you feel good on the inside? You know what I'm talking about? Do me a favor. I want you to turn to who's next to you, or look up front, and just give that person a big smile. Give them a big smile from the side, or look up front. Even if we're wearing our masks, we know if somebody's smiling at us, and we know if they're, we can tell, we can see it. The masks can't hide it. And could you feel the energy in the room? Our appearance creates energy for ourselves and for other people. Appearance is very powerful. Some of my patients say, well, I do this, they use that vanity word. So let me just talk about vanity. Our appearance is a tool, and we can use it positive or negative. If we use it to put other people down, or some people put themselves down with their appearance, you know what I'm talking about? That's vanity, is negativity in appearance. But when we use our appearance to inspire ourselves or to lift other people up, that's called style. Our appearance has an energy that impacts other people and ourselves. It's real. That's why we're here all day long. People come and they feel it. I read their comments. Oh, why are you here? I just want to get that boost. I need a little So, ABCs of plastic surgery. A for area, tightening, volume, skin, and behavior. Are you with me so far? Okay. B stands for boundaries. What are the rules for good plastic surgery? How do you know if you have a good treatment? Number 1, safety is always first. Number 2, You must look natural, yes? So important, and you will. I guarantee that you'll look natural. Number 3, let's prevent future aging changes. Now, if we're lucky, aging keeps coming for us, right? So it's better than the alternative. And if you can prevent future aging changes, that is very good. Number 4, let's get as much improvement as possible. Now, we can't make things perfect. We're not God. We do the best we can. If we need to come back another day and do more, that's better than going too far, right? Okay, so that's B for boundaries. C stands for combination treatment. If we want our best results, we combine. You combine tightening, volume, and skin for our best results. If we want our best results, but we just want to do one treatment, then usually we talk about tightening or laser. Best results, no downtime, fillers. Fillers do a great job, but they don't give us a lift, right? Lifting, I get wonderful results, but I can do even better when I combine. Does that make sense? So 3 categories. If you understand those 3 categories, whatever treatment you choose, if you're happy, great. And if you want more results than what you achieved, you do more of that treatment or you take the next step up, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so C for combination treatment. A, B, C. A for area, B for boundary, C for combination treatment. D is for different perspectives. Now, what I find interesting working with thousands of patients, you learn a lot. And isn't it interesting how we never see ourselves the same way that other people see us? I mean, isn't that really fascinating? People looking at the same thing, but we do not see it the same way. Because when we look at other people, we look at them socially. We engage, we animate our face. We're social. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, we are not social. We are serious and critical. And we look for imperfections, and it can make us feel bad. Right? Have you ever tried to do that, to look really critically at someone else? It makes them feel bad. They're like, they want to move away. When I was a kid, my mom was always like, stop staring at people. Don't stare. We shouldn't stare at other people. We shouldn't stare at ourselves. This is the reason people go too far. Right? Happens all the time. If we're too hard on ourselves, we go too far. You don't have the right doctor to protect you. I will protect you from that. But it happens all the time. We're not going to let it happen here. So that's the ABCs of plastic surgery. Now, if you consider in the United States, there's 330 million people, and you're here in this room, and you guys know the ABCs of plastic surgery, you are way ahead of everybody else. Give yourselves a big hand if you know the ABCs of plastic surgery. Don't get to touch you and make sure you do things the right way. Yes? Right? Okay, now I'm going to show you some before and after pictures of our patients, and everybody's results is a little different, but if you see enough pictures, you'll get an idea of what can be right for you. So we went through our ABCs, our rules, the philosophies. We went through, we never see ourselves the same way others see us. So this is Judy. Judy's a family woman. She raised her family. She's a giver. They left the house, and then she became a caregiver for her parents. Has anybody here ever been a caregiver before? Is that easy being a caregiver? Very difficult, hard to get a break, very emotional, stressful. Judy was a caregiver for her parents for 20 years of her life. Now, it's nice that she could be there for them, but it can take a toll over time. And when her parents passed, unfortunately, her husband fell ill, and she was his caregiver for an additional 10 years. She's an angel. When her husband passed, Judy made a confession to her family. She said, you know, I don't really even know who I am anymore. She felt like she had lost her identity. She was always living through someone else. Judy made a very important decision. She was looking into the mirror, and as she was looking into the mirror, she could see her aging changes. And as she would look, do you know what she would do? She would pull like this. And she liked what she saw. Does anyone here ever do that at home? She liked what she saw. She came into our office. I will never forget meeting Judy for the very first time. You know how when you meet people that have been through difficult things in life, that the little details, they don't tend to bother them so much. Right? This was Judy. She's very kind, respectful. She told me about her family. She told me about being a caregiver. We sat down, and as we looked in front of the mirror, I pulled back like this. I said, how does that look? She says, I like it. I said, some get a little less, some get a little more. If you like what you see, you're a good candidate. And if you need to come back another day and do more, it's better than going too far. She says, I like your philosophy. It makes me feel comfortable. Because she was scared about going too far. Now, she brought her daughter along with her for moral support. So her daughter's there, her daughter looks to the side. She gives her the side eye to her daughter. You know, like, what do you think? Her daughter says, you go for it, Mom. It's your time. So Judy did a laser image lift. We did eyelid treatment. And under the eyes where we get the dark circles, we did some filler. And she got a really nice result. Now you can see the jawline is much sharper under the eyes. And then the upper eyes, we trimmed some eyelids and it looks very natural. Judy's in her 70s in this picture. So proud of her profile. Now, Judy comes back to our office. I love seeing our patients when they come for follow-up because I want to know what's the response been, what have people been saying. You know, they just can't figure it out. They think, Judy, did you lose some weight? Wow, I really like your new hairstyle. That outfit looks really good on you. You know, living in Florida has been good for you, Judy. She told me she was driving with her son. Her son was driving a car. They get a flat tire. He pulls over, he's working on the tire, and another couple stops to help him. And as they're talking, the couple asks her son, well, how's your wife doing in the car? She loves being mistaken for her son's wife, right? Judy has been attending her church for many years. She told me for the first time she became a greeter. Welcome, it's so good to see you. Here, come right this way. Let me get the door for you. We're so glad you're here. And it just occurred to me that for all of the things that Judy had been through, raising her family, being a caregiver, feeling like she had lost herself, and that I could see this energy. She was standing taller, smiling more, and animating, and wearing bright and colorful clothes. It made me realize it is never too late for any of us to invest in ourselves, to look on the outside the way we feel on the inside, to do something for us that makes us feel good. That is why we're here. Because when we look good, it makes us feel good, and we want to do good. So we're very proud of Judy, and I'll show you more results to give you an idea of it. Her why was she wanted to do something for herself. She wanted to find herself. And that why got her through to the result and made her very happy. Now this is Sally. Sally, what was Sally's why? Very active. She loved to swim and exercise. She didn't want to take really much downtime. And what bothered her was this area under her neck. When she would take a picture, she couldn't hide it. And it really bugged her, especially if someone took a picture and she wasn't looking. And she would see the picture after and she would say, oh my gosh. So she came in, we talked to her about doing the lift, and she wanted to do laser treatment. So we did lift and laser. Now her neck, of course, looks amazing and very difficult to see the incision location. And she got right back into her routine, right? When we do the lift, there's physical versus social downtime. Physically, you can get back into your routine within a day or two, errands, shopping, things around the house, light exercise during the second week, right? And in 3 weeks, you can do whatever you want, so you get back into your activity more quickly than a traditional facelift. Socially, you pass the grocery store test. With the mini lift, 4 to 7 days. With the mid or image lift, 7 to 10 days. You walk into the grocery, no one does a double take. Right? So Sally was back in action. She was very happy with her results. And when she comes into the office, she will bring donuts, so we love seeing Sally when she came in. So that was her why. She didn't want to take a lot of downtime. And she's very pleased with her results. Mary. What was Mary's why? Mary said this area in her neck, and she called them her puppet lines. It bothered her. That was her why. When she looked in the mirror, she didn't want to see that. What can she do about it? So she came to a seminar similar to this. We finished the seminar, we did her one-on-one afterwards, and then we talked, and then I asked her, I said, Mary, how long have you been thinking about this for? She says, I've been wanting to do this for 5 years. I said, for 5 years, what's been holding you back? She says, I just couldn't get my finances figured out. She had a commitment here and something to take care of and all of these things, and she just felt stuck. And she figured out a way to have it done. What happened? What changed? She met my team. You only need one solution that works for you. You'd be amazed how flexible the process can be. So if that's holding you back, the finance, let us know. If we can put a plan together that's flexible, that works for you, it worked for Mary, we can make it work for you. I've seen it done thousands of times. Now this next before and after I'm going to share with you really is my very best result. All of my experience, the latest technology, the power of smile, wrapped into one. I'm very proud to share this with you. Didn't we do a great job? So maybe we can't take things this far, but I'll go as far as we can. If we need to come back another day and do more, it's better than going too far. Now, I meet a lot of people. So do you think I ever meet someone that this is what they're looking for? We have to have a talk with them. There's a limit. That's why we do the one-on-ones, to make sure we're all on the same page. We can't take things this far, we'll go as far as we can. We need to come back another day and do more, better than going too far. Now, that's actually my daughter when she was in 3rd grade. And when she was a 3rd grader, she would invite me to her school for lunch. So I would take off from work, and I would go bring my bag lunch, and she had her little lunch box with her juice box, and like in the cafeteria about this size, and she would walk around and find the right place she wanted to sit with her friends and sit down at the little tables, and it was so adorable. And now my daughter, she's 18, she drives my boys to school, and she's applying to college, and she does not invite me to lunch anymore. So let's see what happens this year. You never know, but I'm very proud of her. She's a young woman, and very smart, and working very hard, and she's so beautiful. So that's my daughter. Melba. What was Melba's wife? Melba, in her own words, she says, I never looked at myself in the mirror. She would get ready and go, and she never paid much attention to her appearance. Now, she would clog and dance, and in her clogging group, one of her friends showed up one day, and she said, Dale, you look amazing. What would you do? And you know what Dale told her? Nothing. Now, Melba is a really strong personality, and she says, you did something. She's like, but you look so good. What was it? And Dale would not tell her. So Melba had to sit her down in private and says, listen, I won't tell anybody, but just please, where did you go? What did you do? So Dale told her, she says, I met Dr. Rich, I went to a seminar, I signed up, she did the treatment, and that's what she did. So Melba signed up for our very next seminar. She came out, we did the consultation, she scheduled for our next available, and did her result. Melba did a lift, she did eyelid treatments, fillers, we did a touch-up, we did laser for her, and she looks very natural. She used to call these her Richard Nixon gels, right? She did not like that area, but now what a beautiful neckline, and you don't have to grow your hair long to hide the incisions. It fades very nice, and they're very difficult to see. A lot of my patients will say, well, you didn't make an incision here. I said, well, we did, but it's just hard to see. So we're very proud of Melba, and she still comes out to some of our events. So she lives here in the village. Jeannie's a nurse. We have a lot of medical personnel that come through because people do not want to go to a hospital or a medical facility to do a treatment. They don't want to go where other people are sick. So this is we have an outside consulting firm. They monitor all of our practices. We're always raising our standards. Safety is always first. So medical personnel come through. Jeannie had a great result. If she sent a family member as a referral over, people come in. Their family and friends follow. We're really proud of Jeannie. We have men that come through too. You don't have to grow your hair long to hide incisions. They're difficult to see. And this was all draping down. That was Martin's Y. And you see these little sunspots he's got here? See how they get lifted up and pulled out, and we pull that skin back, right? And remove the extra skin. You take relaxing medicine by mouth, we do numbing like at the dentist. After you do the numbing, you can't tell what's going on. If you want to see the videos, I have videos that are live, unedited. I put thousands of videos out there. People will say with the lift, they say it's easier to do the lift than to watch the video. It's not for everybody to watch. Not everybody wants to watch the procedure, but if you're curious or you're comfortable with watching the procedure, you can watch the whole thing. And when we used to travel and go to meetings, doctors would come up to me and say, "Hey, Rich, I've seen your videos," and we would have a nice conversation. So it's a great teaching point. It's amazing what we can do with technology today. And Martin looks really good. Mary, what was her why? Mary loved spending time with her grandson. How many people have grandkids? She loved to spend time with her grandson. He would sit on her lap, they would read and play and have fun. And when they were spending time, every time, sooner or later, he would reach his hand up and grab her neck. And she hated that. It bothered her. She came in, she told me the story. I said, we'll get you taken care of. We did the lift. She got a nice improvement, but she was not satisfied. So what do? We bring her back. And we did more treatment. And now she's happy. If you need to come back another day and do more, it's better than going too far. And now she's happy with the result, and her grandson does not have anything to grab onto on her neck anymore. My other grandmother doesn't have this. She's like, I'm getting this taken care of. Al, what was Al's why? Al wanted to meet someone and start dating. He wanted to put himself out there. He wanted to do something that would give him more confidence. So he says he didn't like to call it his turkey water. I said, well, here's your options, right? You do not need a full traditional facelift. You don't need general anesthesia. You don't need surgical staples. You don't need surgical drains. You don't need cut across through here. You don't need that. We do it under local anesthesia, relaxing medicine by mouth, numbing like at the dentist. Lift the skin, tighten the muscle, tiny little stitches in front and behind the ear. So that's the image lift that I do. Now there's a step below that, and that tightens the profile really nicely. There's a step below the image lift, which I call the mid. If somebody feels like they want a little less or it's easier for their budget, that's the mid lift. And some people, the right choice is the mini. Now a lot of doctors won't do the mini because they feel it doesn't get a good result. But how do you know? We have a lot of patients that are very happy with their mini. How do you know if the mini is good for you? If somebody tells me, I like it when I pull back like this, but this under here, this doesn't bother me, then that person could be a good candidate for a mini. They just say, this underneath. I don't mind. But if someone says, if I do a lift and I still have something here, I'm not going to be happy. Then I don't recommend the mini. So I had this conversation with Al. I said, Al, you should probably do the image lift to the mid. You don't need the full facelift. Do the image lift or do the mid. That's my recommendation. Well, what does he say? Just do the mini. I'll be fine. I'll be happy. And that's what he wanted. Whatever you choose, I'll go for the goal. I'll go for the best result possible. We did the mini. Great result. I'm really happy. Nice jawline and neckline. Now, if you look under his chin, he still has a little bit there. And he's okay with that. But some of my patients, they wouldn't be satisfied. That's why the one-on-one is so important. We will help you decide. You'll have an idea, but we'll confirm what's going to be right for you because it's not the same for everyone. And Al is happy with his result. Wanted to get out there and meet someone. Have that confidence and get that little boost. Very proud of his result. Laser tightening, no stitching. Laser tightening in the neck, that's 1 day later. And you see how it reduces, it breaks up the fat, and it tightens the skin. We lose the elasticity in our skin. It's like the elastic band. It gets stretched, doesn't fit so well. So, laser tightening, 1 day later, no downtime. Monica did the laser tightening in the neck. She didn't have that much to begin with, but we did the tightening. We also did some fillers in the corner of the mouth and the cheek, the permanent filler. And the profile looks nice. Monica came on TV to demonstrate the results. So the laser tightening helps. That's skin only, but nothing compares to the lift. This is a 1 year result with the image lift where we tighten the muscle and we remove the extra skin. And very difficult to see the incision location in front and behind the ear. And now I combine all three. Judy did the laser to tighten the skin, lift to tighten the muscle, lift to remove the extra skin. So with these lifting procedures, it's not a thread lift. Thread lift is skin only. Thread lifts can do a great job. They only last about a year. So a lot of patients will say, I don't want to do it. And it's only going to last about a year. You're going to have to do it again. So the image that people usually wait 5 to 15 years before they're going to do another lift. Now, it depends on how we take care of ourselves. Not everybody takes care of themselves the same way, but, you know, eating as good as you can. If you gain or lose a lot of weight or a lot of sun damage or smoking, all of those things can accelerate our aging. Or goodness forbid, if we have a medical illness or something, we go through growth spurts, we go through aging spurts. So all of those things can relate to how long our lift may last. But in general, people wait about 5 to 15 years. Right? So it's very comparable to traditional facelifts, but you're definitely going to look natural and you don't need general anesthesia. So that's Judy. Now, laser lifting together. Deb has a radio show. She's a radio show host. She's a fitness instructor. We did laser for the skin, lift for the muscle, lift to remove the extra skin. RJ is an actress in movie and television. I have personalities, celebrities come through, right? Laser to tighten the skin, lift to tighten the muscle, lift to remove the extra skin. Combination treatments do the best. Can Sean, could you make sure the AC is a little cooler? Please, thank you. Combination treatments do the best. How's everyone doing? Are you okay on the air, medium? This is more people coming, just a touch, just a little touch, not too much. Full of volume when we're young. If you have your pictures in your 20s, you'll see how the volume changes. So we're just putting back what was already there. We lose skin muscle fat as we get older, and bone, and as we lose bone, we can get a little bit shorter. The bony prominences in our face also get shorter. So you can see her jawline is nice and full, but then we're hollow in front of the ear and the jowl. So the valley makes the mountain look even bigger. So tighten the mountain, we fill the valley. Nice result for Diane. Combination treatment. Katie, look how full her jawline is. Loss of the bone, jowling, lift and fill, combination treatment. Liz is 18 here, full of volume, 70s. Hollow, jowl, lift and fill, combination treatment. Facial fillers. Facial sculpting. Most injectors, they don't know how to do this, and this is with permanent fillers. This is 16 syringes, 2 sessions, less than 30 days, no downtime. He looks younger, he looks healthier, he's very happy with his result. So that's full face sculpting, 2 sessions. Now this patient did 1 session, full face sculpting, 7 syringes of the Bella Fill, the permanent filler. The most expensive filler is the temporary, because we have to keep replacing it. Now you can choose whichever filler you want. My job is that you know your options. Most people will choose the permanent filler. Right? So we offer that. A lot of injectors, they don't feel comfortable with that. We're happy to provide that because that's really what our patients want. We also took the mole off of her cheek. So Laura is a busy practice manager. Looks very nice, looks natural. Some people just choose one area to treat. So this patient came in, we did the filler, she was very happy. She came back 6 months later, and what did she say? I like my filler, but it's all gone. So we take some pictures, we put the pictures side by side. And when she saw her pictures, she said, I didn't realize my lines were that deep before. After we do a cosmetic treatment, our vision gets better and our memory gets worse. Because when you do a cosmetic treatment, you are going to look at yourself and discover new things, more wrinkles, eyebrow sits on one side or the other. You're going to see something you didn't see before. The vision gets better, the memory gets worse, because we forget what we used to look like. My Aunt Shirley did her treatment, she did laser lip, and she came on TV and demonstrated her results. After we did the TV segment, she went up to the monitor, and the pictures were really big, and she looked really close, and she says, I just don't remember having all those wrinkles like that. The vision gets better, the memory gets worse. So she was happy when she saw her picture. But we have a permanent filler if that's what you want. Laser resurfacing, it's a burn to the skin. You need 7 to 10 days before you can wear makeup and cover, and the skin looks like you had sunburn that fades over about 6 to 8 weeks. It's a great treatment for the lip lines and wrinkles. My Aunt Shirley, she did the laser and she did the lift. She's in her 70s here, now she's in her 80s. That's at my cousin's wedding. Aunt Shirley's out on the dance floor having a good time. We're very proud of her. Phyllis called these her waffles on her cheek. She said it looked like she fell asleep on a waffle iron. So we did a lift and laser resurfacing. Everything in life evolves. If you told people 30 years ago what these devices could do today, what would they have said to you? No way, that's crazy. But not only is this magic the real thing, in a year or two, this is going to be outdated because they keep making better ones, they keep upgrading. Everything evolves. What else has evolved? Have grandparents evolved? What were grandparents like at the turn of the century in 1900s, right? Compared to grandparents today. Grandparents today are living so much longer. They're active. They're a big part of their family. Some of them are still working. Plastic surgery has also evolved. The tools we use are far superior. The training is better. The results are much better. We can achieve today what they could not achieve 30, 40 years ago. The results, the longevity, the lack of downtime compared to what it used to be, there's never been a better time to do a cosmetic treatment. That's why we're excited to share with you today. So you'll hear from Sherry today. She did a lip. She did tell her daughter. We're very proud of her results. Jen is here today. She's been with us for 12 or 13 years. Jen helps us to set up these events. So she's done lifting treatments. Linda comes out to a lot of our events. She's full of volume here. And then sun damage, wrinkles and sunspots to the skin. We did laser lift filler. Combination treatment does the best. Nancy's a healthcare provider. She wanted to tighten up her neck and jawline. Her boost in energy was amazing. I mean, I was so excited to see what it did for her. And with Shirley, you cannot get this kind of result unless you're doing a lift. And Shirley came out to one of our events, and she shared with us that when she did her lift, she lost a family member right, a little bit afterwards, and it really just took the wind out of her sails. And she talked to us about how doing the lift gave her that energy, that confidence to put herself out there to get her through, because we all go through the tough times. And whatever it is for you that helps to get you through, we were honored to be a part of her life to help her get through that time. And now she's, smiling when we see her. She comes out to our events, talking to other patients. We're very proud of our patients, very proud of Shirley, and a beautiful result. Okay, so have you seen some results you like so far? Would you be happy if you had a result similar to what you've seen? You're in the right place. What I talk about here, working with thousands of patients, I hear all the different things people say. A lot of patients will say, I'm ready to go, let's sign up. And some patients say, I want to do a treatment, but if there's something that you feel holds you back, these are the most common things people tell me. They say, well, there you go. Hey, welcome. He's a part of our presentation. He's measuring the temperature. When you're done, let us know, okay? Is it okay? How's our temperature? Good. Let's give him a big hand for measuring our temperature. Thank you for being a part of our presentation again. How's our temperature? I measured it today. I'm warm. Thank you, Glenn. All right. We'll see you later. He's checking things out. If it weren't for, isn't this a nice hotel? Let's tell Glenn how nice this hotel is. This is really nice. Right? So thank you, Glenn. These are the things that people tell us that hold them back. If you see something here, you let us know because we'll help you get through. Say, it's my finances, I've got these commitments, I don't know how I'm going to get that figured out. Some of you say, no, that's not a problem, I'm okay with the finances, but if this is what's holding you back, let us know, we'll figure it out and make it right. Something that works for you, you'll be amazed how flexible the process can be. Some of you are busy and you have no downtime, which is fine. We have no downtime treatments all day long if you watch our videos. So if that's what you need, we'll put something together for you. Or if you have some downtime, we'll make it fit for what time you have available. Some of you are allergic to pain or allergic to fear. In fact, today I had 2 patients we injected and they told me, they're like, I'm really bad with needles. And they both did so well. That's what I do best. In fact, one of them, we did them on the video, and they did great. I'll give you an idea, okay? So in my family, if somebody gets hurt and they need stitches, guess who gets a phone call? And I'm happy to take care of them, and I've stitched up a lot of my family members. I'll never forget, my niece was 3 years old. I get the phone call. She fell right in the middle of her forehead. She had a gash. She comes into the office and her eyes are like this, just wide open, like, what's gonna happen? You say, okay, sweetie, we're gonna put some ice on you, and Okay, now we put the eyes, just a little pinch of the numbing medicines, a little pinch, and her eyes getting wider, and she's okay. I'm you all right? Yeah, she's fine. I said, what do you feel there? She said, no, I don't feel it, because the numbing medicine takes effect very quickly. We put the stitches, we put the Band-Aid. She did not shed one tear. So if we can keep my 3-year-old niece comfortable, I promise we can keep you comfortable too. And you can have a lollipop too if that makes you feel good. But we specialize in making you feel comfortable. That's what we do best. And if you watch our videos, you'll see it. We put videos out there every day. Some say, I'd love to do something, but that would be so selfish because I'm helping someone out and someone else needs this more. Right? When you're a giver, you're always going to give, and I'm here to tell you being selfish is being smart when you do it the right way. Let's give to the giver. There's a lot more to give. We cannot pour from an empty cup. So being selfish is being smart. And our family and friends, we love to give to them. Our family and friends, are they going to talk about us behind our backs if we do a cosmetic treatment? They are going to talk about us no matter what you do. You might as well do whatever you want to do and don't worry about what they're going to say. So don't let these things hold you back. We will help get you through. So this is what we talk about in the consultation. Where are your areas of focus? What matters most to you? It's different for everyone. What's in your heart? Your why. That guides you. That guides the process. If you feel stuck, we'll get you unstuck by guiding through your why, what's in your heart. Have you tried other treatments? Let us know. We want to know how that did for you. And do you have downtime, yes or no? You give us these answers to these questions, we'll give you the right treatment. You'll have a plan before you leave today. We're going to do that here soon. Safety is always first. Like I said, we have an outside consulting firm. They monitor all of our practices. We always want to be raising our standards. So the lift is an office-based procedure. Risks involved, we minimize that as much as possible. Leaving a fluid collection, we can handle all that in the office. That's not been a problem. Infection, we put you on an antibiotic, right? That's also not been a problem for my patients. We can handle that. Damage to surrounding structures, risk of weak lip or eyelid. The procedure is designed to stay more superficial to avoid that. So that's not been a problem in my practice. We all have a symmetry to our face. My right eyebrow is higher than my left. We have a symmetry before and after. That's what makes us all look natural. The ears can be numb after you do a lift. When the nerves go back, you might feel itching, tingling, soreness, or pain. Most people say it's numb. I don't really notice it. It's getting better. It goes away. Sometimes a deep stitch we put in can come out of the skin like a splinter. If that happens, that's easy to take care of. The risk that someone has to go to a hospital, have a heart attack or stroke is rare. This is the safest way to do the treatment. Safer than general anesthesia, safer than IV sedation. And the risk that somebody needs to come back for a touch-up procedure, it's low, but it's not a zero risk for anyone. So I mentioned it for completeness sake. Okay? So safety is always first. Fillers. Fillers are very safe. Risk of undercorrection, you can always put more. Risk of overcorrection, I'm not going to let that happen. Risk of lump or bump formation is uncommon. If that happens, it's treatable. Most people feel the filler, and they say, it feels like my normal skin, it feels natural. Some say, I do feel something, but I don't see it. It doesn't bother me. I leave it alone. I don't think it's necessary to make an incision to take a nodule out. So my strategy, just put a little filler over a large area. It'll keep you safe. It'll minimize or eliminate your risk of having a bump, right? Now, I use safety cannulas when I do most of my injections. What is a cannula? It's a soft needle. Less bruising, less trauma. Risk of getting the filler into a blood vessel, causing scarring, loss of vision, damage to surrounding structures is rare. That's why we want the safety cannula. That's why you want the expert injector. Risk of infection, reaction, prolonged swelling is rare, and that's treatable. So safety is always first in our office. We love to reward people who place a deposit towards a lifting procedure. Just let my team know they've got a surprise for you. We're excited to help you achieve your goals. We love getting referrals. We get referrals all the time. The best way to send a referral, we have an esthetician. She does a free facial mask. Very relaxing, very good for the skin. And you can take advantage of this. Just call and schedule. And she does a skincare analysis, goes over skincare. Take advantage of that for you, but send any of your family members or friends. If they come in, they call, I'd like the facial. You bring them in, we don't charge them for that. And they'll think that was a great appointment for them. This way, they're getting their assessment and analysis, but you didn't tell them they need to see a facial plastic surgeon. They're just going for a facial. That's the best way to send a referral. So at this point, let's do this. Ladies, why don't you come on up? We're going to have our model models. Come on, let's give our models a big hand. Let's come out today. You've got everybody coming out there. Full disclosure, we pay our models for their gas money for them to have lunch, and they're like part of the family. We've known them for many years, so we'll start with Sherry while everybody's coming on up. Come on up, ladies. I'm so glad everybody could be here. So Sherry, it's been a while since I've seen you. Good to see you. And so what was it that inspired you, Sherry, to have a cosmetic treatment?
Well, I've been retired in the villages for 9 years, and I never, ever dreamed I'd have some kind of cosmetic surgery, because I always took care of my skin, and I'm an image consultant and make people over for a living, and they look great, but I came down here, and I couldn't do that anymore, you know, and all these things didn't really help. So a friend taught me to come into one of these seminars, and I met people that, you know, I don't want to look 20 years younger, but you know what I needed? I needed to be refreshed. Isn't that a good word? Refreshed, that's what we want. And Dr. Castellano is so great because he never overdoes it and people look great. And I don't tell everybody I've had this done. My daughter will never know. And my best friend is sitting in the audience from back home, and she knows I'm gonna have to shoot her if she says anything. So anyway, easy, had it done Monday. Friday I was out having lunch with friends. Easy, and he's wonderful.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. And so Jen has been with us for 13 years now? 12 years. Jen helps us set up these events, so she's an amazing part of our team. Jen, what was it that inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment done? Can you take the mask from the bottom so they can see you? Thanks. There you go.
It was about 6.5, going on 7 years ago. My friends in my neighborhood and I were getting ready for a girls' night out. We hadn't done this for months and months and months, so we were all really looking forward to it. So I spent extra time getting ready. I put on a new outfit I just bought, spent extra time doing my hair and my makeup, put on nice jewelry, and as I'm walking out of the house, I glanced at a large mirror in our foyer and saw an old haggard woman looking back at me. So that evening, I was talking to my closest girlfriend, and I said, man, I need to refresh. I said, I'm looking haggard and I'm losing my self-confidence. So she turned and looked at me and said, you know, she said, you brought this up to me a couple times in the last few months. She said, what are you waiting for? She went on to offer some great advice. She said, think of it this way. Today is not a dress rehearsal for the rest of your life. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. That someday out there is today. Her words are a defining moment for me. Shortly after that, Dr. Rich did a facelift procedure for me. Absolutely loved the results. It was just such an empowering feeling, but it just lifted me up psychologically. I held my head up higher, and I was now proud of how I looked. So that was, like I said, 6.5 going on 7 years ago. So fast forward to December of 2020, this past December. I was getting a lot of extra skin on my neck, so Dr. Rich did I'm calling it a mini lift refresh touch-up. And once again, it just lifted me up. I'm calling it the new year, new me. I love the result. As Dr. Rich mentioned, I've worked for him for going on 12 years now. So of course, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of happy patients, and I too am definitely one of them.
Thank you so much. Marty's been a family friend for many years. My brother is a dentist, and Marty used to work in my brother's office, and that's how we met. I was at my brother's office, and I saw Marty, and she learned about what we did, and at that time, my son was just born. My son is 15 now, so Marty did a lift at that time. So Marty, can you share with us what inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment done?
At the time that I met Dr. Castellano, I was a caregiver for my son who had brain cancer, and I was feeling really down and out and hard to make it through a day. But I had a lift, and after the lift, I felt like I was a better caregiver. I felt better about everything. My son passed away 7 years ago. I went back to see Dr. Castellano, and he did a little touch-me-up. And then I started coming to seminars, sharing my story of my lift with Dr. Castellano had done, and I just love sharing the story because it's given me so much more self-confidence. I would never be out here talking to all you people if I didn't have this great lift that Dr. Castellano had given me. And I'm so glad that I've done it, and I just turned 77. Well, not just, but a few months ago. And it's been the best thing I've ever done.
That is so amazing. This is not the picture for 77. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing. So, Arlena, thank you for coming out. If you've seen some of our TV commercials, you've seen Arlena because she's been on a few of our commercials that we put out. So, Arlena, what was it that inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment done?
My mother, she was my mentor. She had a facelift done back when I was in high school. And like Dr. Castellano said, back then it was like dinosaur procedure. I remember picking her up at the hospital. She was under general anesthesia. She was cut all over. I took care of her when she was wrapped. And the procedure took a while for her to heal, but when she was done, it was beautiful. And her skin's very different from me. She's ivory skin, where I took after my father being Italian. And whenever something tragic happens, she weathers like that. And so her brother had died back when I was in high school, and overnight it changed. Well, fast forward 2006, my father died again. She just rapidly declined and everything like that. And so she was kind of away for a while, and I thought, well, where the heck did she go? She didn't come for Thanksgiving or whatever. Well, Christmas, she showed up at the door. She had an image lift procedure, and she says, I go, you didn't tell me. She goes, look, I look great. And I said, well, how did you do it by yourself? She goes, nowadays, it's just a snap to do. She says, when it's your time, you need to do it. It's your time, you've done a lot, and take the time and care for yourself. So, my why was 2017, I had a 25th renewal vow anniversary ceremony and everything. My kids were there, we had catering, whatever, photographer. When my pictures came back, OMG. I'm like, who invited the rooster to the party? I'm like, oh my gosh, I look horrible. Is this what marriage and kids did to me? I knew it was my time. I was an empty nester. Between my mother being a cheerleader and my husband saying, you know what, do it. You did a great job raising these kids. 25 years anniversary. Great supportive team really makes you excited. And so my husband just loves Dr. Castellano because we're the same age, and everybody thinks I'm younger. I'm 61 years old, and I have a 36-year-old, I have a 28-year-old, and a 26-year-old. And when your mind's young and your capsule old is aging, and you look in the mirror and you don't feel like that's who you are because you have so much energy, why not do it? It's your time, and you are still living life, and if it boosts you and gives you confidence, there's nothing wrong with that. So I have a fascination with rocks, and I use this as an analogy. Whenever you put a rock outside, when we're young, we don't embrace our youth because we're busy raising children or we're career-minded. And then as the rock sits outside and years go by, it gets weathered, it gets dry, it gets pitted, it gets scraped, it gets faded. And that's us. And by the time we realize we want to enjoy life, it's like, wow, what happened to me? So you need to go to this wonderful doctor because these books are valuable. I would not let anybody else touch my face. You want to go to a doctor that knows your face, not somebody that does your butt or your breasts and stuff. You want somebody that knows the face. There's too many botched series that you see where people have had so many complications because of disaster. You will not have that with this man here. He's a wonderful doctor. He's gifted in his hands, and when you go to him, he polishes you up like this. So you go from this to this. So that's my feeling for that.
Thank you so much, Arlena. Thank you, ladies and everyone. They're really a part of the family. I'm so honored, I'm so proud to be here that they can share their stories and that we are an important part of their lives, and we're honored to be an important part of your life as well. We just want you to be happy. That's why we're here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start with the one-on-one starting. So we're going to start getting seated right now, and that way, when we're starting to do the one-on-ones, we'll put your plan together that's right for you. But before we start that, please, one more time, turn to your neighbor, give them a big smile, and tell them, we just want you to be happy. That's why we're here. We just want you to be happy. We just want you to be happy. We just want you to be happy. smiles with me because everything worthwhile starts with a smile. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Okie dokie. Ow. That was stiff from sitting there. Hi, Bethany. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Thank you, Ari.